the person that you're dealing with here, we have the Queen of Cups. This is a water sign. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And if this is not a water sign that you're dealing with, this is somebody that cares about people on a very deep level, where they get suckered in by a sob story, or they kind of repeatedly help others. They come to the rescue of other people. They try to help other people. But in the process, they might be enabling that bad behavior. Okay? And so I feel almost like you like everything about them. You know they're a really good, kind person. But you do have certain critiques about the way they behave, and you feel like they need to learn to lovingly detach themselves so that other people's problems don't become their problem. And the person that you're dealing with as well, the way that you feel about them, we have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is like a mixture of exasperation, but love, okay? So I feel like you care about this person. You want them to go places. You want them to succeed in life. You want them to be well. But there's something about them where they get emotionally destabilized very, very quickly. They give so much of themselves to other people. They give so much of their energy. And their life might be somewhat at a standstill because they don't know how to contain their energy to get things moving in their own lives. Okay? So that might be one of the contentious issues between you and them, as to, you need to get your life started. You need to get going so that you can make more of yourself. So I feel like this person doesn't care about status. They don't care about prestige. They don't care about money. They don't care about, doing the things that can propel them in life. They care about the human relationships, and they're very good at helping other people, but they expend so much energy helping others that they don't know how to help themselves. You do admire them, and you like them because you know they have a really big heart. And you can forgive a lot. As long as somebody genuinely has a good heart, you will always forgive them. You will give them the benefit of the doubt. But over time, it can become a little bit exasperating, okay? You might feel like they're idealistic as well, or naive, okay? The way that they see you, we have here the Prince of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. They see you as somebody who is leading the charge, okay? You're quite independent, self-made. You take care of yourself. Business first. You take care of business. You can overcome great deals in your emotional life. Like, it's like your emotional life. We all have emotional hang-ups. We all have bad days. We all have like things that trigger us. But you don't let it get to you. You're able to see the forest for the trees. You're able to get yourself on this hill through sheer hard work and determination. And you don't sit there and say like, oh, I've been dealt like the shorthand of the stick, and so my life is stagnant. No, you don't do that. You're a fighter. You're a survivor. And you don't wallow in self-pity and say like, life has been hard to me. But either way, life might have been hard to you, but you've succeeded against all odds. So they see you as someone who is quite intimidating, but they also admire the drive and the ambition and your ability to lovingly detach yourself from elements and people that are very toxic to you. And there's this energy here. You're so independent that you don't care what people say. You don't care what people think. You know your true calling. You know what you need to do. And you don't let other people's opinions of you affect you. They are not like that. Other people's approval, other people's opinions matter a lot to them. Family obligations, social expectations, even family expectations, all of these things weigh down, are weighted when they make decisions about their own lives. So it's almost like they're living their lives based on other people's expectations. And they're not really as independent to make their own decisions. That's what they think. But of course, you see the forest for the trees, and you feel like this person is too dependent on other people. But once again, you forgive them because they do have a really good heart. You have a partner here, or a love interest, that has a really, really good soul. Okay, their soul resonates with yours. I feel one person, it's like a karmic connection. One person is in the other person's life to teach them about unconditional love, to teach them to be less picky, Virgo maybe. Maybe they're here to teach you to be less picky. Maybe they're here to teach you to be more other-oriented. Maybe they're here as well, or maybe you're here to teach them to, live life with a devil-may-care attitude, to take care of business, to be a little bit more detached, to not let emotional hang-ups and issues weigh them down. Maybe you're here to teach them that, but I definitely feel a karmic connection where two people are learning a great deal from one another because the relationship is very complementary. They have something that you lack. You have something that they lack. You have the drive and the ambition. They have the heart and the soul. Not that you're not compassionate or loving, but I feel like the blending of the energy can create a really good union or even a good business partnership if you choose to partner up with them. What's in the center, the outcome for this relationship? I have here the Ace of Cups. This is really beautiful. So there is a coming together, an expression of love, and the beginning of something amazing between the two of you. And I feel it's because you admire the other person's compassion. They admire your drive and your ambition. And so together you see really, really valuable things in your partner that you are lacking, that they are lacking. And as a result of it, there's mutual love and respect seen here. When I shuffle the cards, the Death card also came out here with the Ace of Cups. And the Death card is almost like that transformation. It might have started out with mutual friendship or admiration, and it's grown into a very pure love where you want them to be well. And then they might have started out admiring you, and now they're like, I really, want that Virgo person to be well. And so there's a really strong connection between you and another person, and you definitely should pursue it. I see them as somebody who's a little bit more receptive. Okay, they don't really take initiative, it seems. And that might be a cause of frustration from your end. They don't really take initiative. The water energy is a very receptive energy, especially with this Queen of Cups. It's somebody that is like, they're very emotionally expressive. They're very emotionally intelligent. They know what they feel at all times. But in terms of actions, getting things started, getting things moving, they drag their feet. So in order for these things to take off, you kind of need to, take the initiative. The way they feel about you, we have here the Six of Wands. This is them coming towards you, overcoming their emotional reservations to come towards you. This person is jumping over this crevice that's filled with water, overcoming their emotional hang-ups, overcoming their emotional issues in order to charge ahead and move towards you. I did the reading for Aries. If you have Aries in your chart, you might want to watch that. If you're dealing with an Aries, you might want to watch that because this is you waiting for them to get their career started, waiting for them to overcome their hang-ups, to overcome the stalled energy, to overcome their inability to move things along. You're waiting very, very patiently. You're at the pinnacle of your success, and you're waiting for the other person to catch up. And in a sense, you might start to sense that your life is put on hold as a result of waiting on this person. But they are going to be catching up. It's going to be made very, very clear to you that they're going to meet you where you are. Okay, they're moving right behind you, and they're going to catch up to you. And so there is this outpouring of love and appreciation where two people are basically finally aligned, finally on the same page. If in the past there has been a lot of stop and go, and if in the past they might have been, tied up with past emotional hang-ups, this is the month or the week, I would say the month, as we move into November, where they're not making any more excuses from their end. They see you drifting away. They don't want to lose you, and they're more they're taking more initiative to come towards you. Okay, so you're getting what you want pretty much. The Death card, once again, it deals with the moving away from old ways of doing. They're trying to be, I want to say, like, they're trying to contain their energy. They're trying not to expend their energy towards dead-end relationships, towards bad friendships, towards people that use them. While you're opening up your energy, being a lot more compassionate, being a lot more understanding, being a lot more, it's like, I know that, it's like, I know where you stand, and I can't tell you how to live your life. However, I'm willing to wait for you. So you're willing to, be a lot more understanding of this person. So there's this beautiful blending of mutual energy, which looks really good. In other areas of your life, I feel like we have here the Star card, and this is why I mentioned that Aquarius message at the very beginning. The Star card is about wish fulfillment. It's about dreams and aspiration, dreams coming true. Everything that you've ever worked really hard at, everything that you've ever overcome, you're now exactly where you need to be. And there are major, major new plans, new direction, new opportunities coming into the works for you. It's just a matter of you blending this energy and working with this energy so that you are in alignment with source energy, okay? I have as well a couple, the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. In love relationships, in general, this is sort of like, they're the strategic people in the entire deck, okay? They're the Queen and the King of Swords. There's a lot of communication between you and your partner, and you guys are communicating about long-term goals and aspirations. Communicating about this. How do we get ourselves where we need to be? How do we fulfill our dreams? Not only as individual, but as a relationship unit. And I also feel as well, healing relationships, healing past trauma, healing family issues as well. What I feel, though, is there's a very strong person, an air sign in your midst, possibly an Aquarius. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And this is a person that is showing you a vision, okay? They're showing you something. And I feel for some of you, this can serve as like a coworker, a boss, somebody that is telling you about, here's what you should do. If you're interested in getting into, this industry, here are the paths that you should take. They're inspiring you, some of you, to go back to school. They're inspiring you to kind of reach out for a specific career path. They're showing you something and they're telling you, run with it, is what I'm hearing. Some of you might be trained by this person. You might be under this person in some way. They might be a manager, supervisor, a trainer, a coworker, somebody that you really admire because you admire their intelligence. You also admire their ability to detach, and you get along really well with them. The way that you communicate is very similar. The way that you think, the way that you work. And, Virgos, you guys have a reputation for being workaholics. This person might also be a workaholic. But either way, you've got somebody on your side who's going to show you ways to do things, who is also going to show you some major, major breakthroughs that can be had in your career. They can point out, hey, there's this job listing. You should apply for it. And you're like, no, because, in the past, you've always had this energy where you're like, I'm not sure if I'm good enough. And this person's like, yes, you're good enough. You should apply for it. And they're giving you that nudge and that push to move you along. And what I have as well is, I have here the Five of Wands. This is a card about competitors and competition. This is a card overall about having to defend our beliefs, okay? And communicating with people who don't understand us. And, don't you hate it when you're at work and you're just working? You're doing what you're paid to do. And then somebody comes up to your desk and they're like, Virgos, you're working so hard. And they meant it as a compliment, but it sounds very annoying, right? And you might have dealt with people like that. They dilly-dally. They don't really get things done. They get involved in office gossip. They add fuel to the fire. And they don't do what they're supposed to do. And it aggravates you. And I feel like for those in a new work environment or in a new social circle, you're finally finding and aligning yourself with your kindred souls in your soul group where they have the same values. They're there to work. They're not there to gossip. They're not there to dilly-dally and commit time theft. And, they have their own calling. They have their own vision. And they don't care what anybody says. They're going to follow in their own their own path. And that's really inspiring when we look at people that they don't care what people say. They're going to forge their own path. And unapologetically so. And I feel like that's really admirable. You're coming into your soul group and you're feeling like, wow, these people really understand me. My friends from high school, my friends from college, my friends from my previous workplace, they just never understood me. But these people understand me. And I have here a very strong air sign influence in your life. That will be really good for you. Possibly 2 air signs, male and a female. They both could be male, but I feel like there is an air sign here. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and I feel very strong Aquarius. At the center of the spread, we have here the 9 of Wands, okay? This is somebody who's battle-weary. They've been through a lot of experiences in life that made them the person that they are today. And their heart chakra is open. They're very loving, very caring, but once again, there is a sense of loving detachment about them. They don't enable people. So they don't, give with strings attached. They're high-minded, and they're not like that. But I feel like, they love to a certain extent, but they know how to also remove themselves from codependent and toxic people. So you admire somebody in your work environment, I'm sensing. You admire somebody in your social circle. They're very inspiring to talk to. And I feel like they can give you a lot of directions when it comes to career path, education, getting you where you want to be professionally. I see somebody, if you were to ask, somebody for a letter of recommendation or even a recommendation, or to even sit and have a conversation with them and pick their brains and ask them, this is what I want. I want to be at this place in 5 years. What do you suggest that I do? They're going to give you really good advice.